Hi everybody, just starting up. Hi everybody, just starting up. Be doing no webcam today. In the middle of moving, so it's kind of already packed. We'll start up here in about 20 minutes. So okay. Nice art.
Oh, Major. Hey, Major, are you the one that keeps on adding a password to the TeamSpeak channel?
Negative.
Hey, Cadet,
What's up?
are you the one that keeps on adding a password to this channel?
I always keep it as Thin Ice 20 because we've had civilians join before when we're in a mission.
Roger. 'Cause,
But now that we've got Acre, we can't really hear them, I don't think, anyway.
yeah, just squad
But
leaders
I've
are having
noticed
issues joining it, and then when they type in
that's
10s20, it's wrong, and they can't join.
Yeah, I just say take her off, and we can change the permissions to join to be whatever the same as the common hall, because civilians can't join the common hall areas. So we can just
Yeah, I
edit
think we
the
just need to
permissions.
move the operations server channel into the unit channels section.
That's fine.
It
Just
should
leave
be
it
good.
there. It's technically is a public area. Same with Realism, but I don't want to move the channels.
Okay, Roger. We'll see if we can do something about the permissions.
Should we be in the up channel or the ceremony channel?
Ops channel's fine, because then you guys will just continue on from here.
Where is that? Oh, that's always lovely. Nice and loud.
Richmore High?
How's the move going?
Well, really, by the end of the day, the only thing that'll be still in this house is my computer.
Yeah.
Because we won't have internet at our new place for at least a month, is what I'm being told. So we're looking at
What?
other internet providers.
A month. Holy
Yeah,
shit.
because the provider that we have at this place, we were going to grab at the other one because it's high quality plus cheap. But I guess it was our neighbor put in a redid their driveway, and I guess they cut the line by accident. So they had to get a contractor to come out and dig a new fiber optic line. So they said that's what we'll be waiting on. So temporarily, we do have other companies to go with, but I think all of them are contract. So I'd have to stay with them for a year. But,
Oh, lovely.
but they're more expensive as well, and it's is what it is. But
A lot of problems.
we'll figure that out. Well, the problem is like if one line's cut, you'd think all the lines are cut. Going from
Yeah, it's weird. It's one property.
so.
And you guys over there, are they running? They run underground, don't they?
Yep, everything's underground.
Yeah. See, up here, some of our older cables run still above the houses in some areas,
Like power
and
line.
that becomes an issue. Yeah, like the power lines, but you have the cables for like the Foxtel and things like that as well. They run them off them. Do you know what Foxtel is? Maybe that's an Aussie thing.
That's an Aussie thing. I'm assuming you wouldn't
it's-
know what Charter Spectrum is either, and that's our.
Yeah, no idea.
That's basically probably your Foxconn.
Yeah, but those cables run above ground on the power lines. So when a garbage truck comes, for example, and picks up the bins, sometimes those have been taken out completely, wiped out.
That's kind.
Because I think our trucks are different again to the US. They've actually got a handle that grabs the bin. It's like a hand
Flips it
that
up.
squeezes the bin, and you pick it up a glass, and then it lifts it all the way up and
Yep.
empties it in.
Yep, ours is the same. You
Oh,
got to come
okay.
to
I
America,
thought
man.
I thought you guys still had the manual people who did it, jump like in the movies, jump off the back of the truck.
Keyword
in
you
the
just
back.
said in the movies.
That's what we still have. We have people jumping off the truck and throwing it into
We
the
have
back.
we have both. You'll find in like cities, you'll have that the people in the truck, right, jumping off and throwing that in. But most like villages and little towns have like the thing that comes up and just grabs it and throws it. So
I also have a lot of towns that don't have like trash bins. They just have trash bags that you need to put out in front of your door.
yeah, those tend to be the places that have the people on the back of the trucks that come and throw it. But if you have a bin, you have one of those like from the village or township or whatnot that you live in, that bin that's taken out in your taxes, then it's usually that truck that comes and throws it up.
I also have places that just have collection areas already. Like every street has like a collection area where you put it.
Stuff like that. Imagine you had to drive down to a collection area.
I mean, it's usually on your street, so.
Our collection areas are mostly for like yard waste, grass, tree clippings, stuff like that. You can't put that in the trash. You have to take it to what we call a compost area in the city.
Yeah. I mean, we have 4 different trucks. We have soft plastics, hard plastics, metals, and then your regular like trash, and paper and cardboard. It's a separate one too. Recycling, man.
Yeah, we got 3 bins here.
You guys, this is America. I just throw my shit in one trash and they separate it.
See, my girlfriend was doing that. She was just because they're like woke parents, her family, so they just store all the shit in the same bin. And then I was like to her mom, like, you don't recycle? I'm like, how do you not recycle?
What kind of monster are you?
And then they actually got a sticker on their bin the next week saying what items are allowed to go in this bin and what items are not allowed to go in the
Yeah.
bin.
Ours too. I mean, we do have recycling as well, but they I think when we first moved into the house we're in, we got these, the recycle bin or the garbage can and the recycle bin, and we weren't putting things in trash bags. We were just throwing it in the recycle bin. A lot of beer bottles, who thought? But then they didn't pick it up one day. We're like, oh crap! Like when they don't pick up, you're thinking shit. Something in there that they saw that they, say nope, we're not even touching it. We're not recycling. So then you have to fucking take everything out and put it in bags. And so we just did the top like half, so that they open the bin up and they look and like, okay, it's all trashed or it's in bags. So then they tip it.
Cheeky.
Us bloody Americans. All right.
What did you do for
Klondike bar?
Independence Day?
Moved more stuff. Went and let's see. Only fireworks we saw were while we were driving home last night. But what did we do? I installed a lot of things. A screen door, one that's magnetized so that you can walk through and it closes right behind you. So that's pretty sweet. A lot of curtain rods and a garage door opener. Just things like that.
Settling into the new home.
Pretty much a lot of it's a very nice house. It's just a lot of little things that we want in it that we're doing.
Still needs a lot of work.
Yeah, like we won't even be able to live in our master bedroom yet for at least a month because we're replacing the carpet in it. So we paid for that yesterday, and now we got to schedule it. And that's, they said if we don't hear from them in 5 to 6 weeks, and then call. So they're like giving like a month and a half until that gets installed. Well, we're not going to move our bed and dresser and all that stuff into our master bedroom only to have to pull it back out to do the
Is it
carpet.
me or is America like really hell-bent on having their carpets?
If you
Don't put carpets everywhere.
We got carpet here.
that was more of a like 80s 70s era, like carpet everywhere. One of my first houses I bought, the entire downstairs was carpeted. Well, it was gross, so we ripped it up, and there was beautiful hardwood floors underneath. And so we
I've
kept
got hardwood now,
kept that
yeah.
hardwoods everywhere. So
Keeps your feet warm.
yeah, carpet, yeah. So mostly
The
like
floor heating for that,
like
Leonard.
bedrooms, and like a living room or a family room area is usually carpeted. Everything else is, hardwood or linoleum.
Yeah, we got tiles for everything. Besides your rooms, all your rooms, lounge rooms, bedrooms, they're all carpet.
Nice.
I have this like plastic fake wood almost everywhere. Except for my desk. My desk is hardwood.
I don't think Pagan will be here today.
Like if they're all standing in the correct positions.
Yeah, go check. Who's that?
Just ignore me. I don't know who Freeman is.
Yeah, we had a pretty good turnout for the pop-a-thon.
Good. Yeah, I checked in on my phone every. Oh, hold on, phone call. Be right back.
Okay.
Sam's connecting too. That's great. What's up, buddy?
Can we fill out
Hear
your
that,
first
Sam?
rank?
Or party.
Absolutely
Yeah, I
not. It's very
pushed
important
the wrong
that it stays
button.
exactly like this.
Fill it out anyway.
Give me a second. I'm checking Discord. Okay.
You lose a teeth?
Abo,
What?
you need to switch with Greg. We
Okay.
can't really have squad lead.
Incur
in the
cover
back.
down to me.
How's it going, Kahiri?
Hanson, come over
It's
here.
going well off Stranded.
Fucking back.
Oh, damn, woods.
Have a good celebration for
Frost, I see you back there, bud.
July
What's
4th.
up, man?
Huh? What?
Did.
Is it great time?
Had a bit of my Constitution.
That's
Did my Bill of Rights. Hanged out with my dad.
Why do you not be supplying
Nice.
tampons to your soldiers? That's fucked up.
It wasn't when you looked there when I arrived.
You can see his sample on the
worry,
ground
I
though.
refreshed
Spoken to Purdy before saying it's interesting. You guys over there get to light fireworks like in your backyard and shit. Over there you do that and you're gonna have 3 police cars coming to your house.
Anira, that's the wrong spot. That was pretty.
Wrong spot, champ.
Yeah. Bunch of fireworks.
It's
A lot of
nice.
angry dogs.
Why did we
On-
switch?
on
Wasn't
me
it like
and Greg.
this on the right all the time?
No, that's a big thing. You know when Australia Day comes over here, always put the dogs inside. Otherwise they go ballistic.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, the dog was pretty much inside the whole time and she was still losing her mind.
Yeah.
And this happened.
Right, you just entertain them with the Nat Geo Animal Channel. And it works.
My name wasn't on the floor in spray paint. Like I didn't have a spot assigned.
All right, Sanders, you go ahead up to the left at the first line there.
Couple of minutes here.
Kihari and Sam once
Who's
they
that?
show up.
20 clicks.
Sanders, see me's up here with me, bud.
Sam, go
There
ahead,
we go.
get right behind, or right next to Brock.
We should get a podium for Sarah.
All right, I'm back.
Have one of the privates fucking just get on his hands and knees and tease the podium.
There we go.
I just checked my medical unit because I lost
All
my blood.
right.
I'm already losing blood. It's got to be a record.
Alright, guys, can we center it like this gap now to in front of the flags here?
Slide
boy.
to the left.
To the left.
They're right.
My unit trying to do the electric slide. They can't even march, let alone.
I don't know about the break.
I don't want to step in the blood.
Keep on moving, keep on moving.
step.
Keep going, keep
There
going,
we
keep
go,
going,
that's
keep
good,
going,
that's
keep
good,
going.
that's good, that's
Keep
good.
going, keep going, keep going.
Halt!
It's Grigorov on his beard again.
Gregor, I
I don't know
was
where
stepping in it.
Am I what?
It was
Okay,
Grigorov.
Sam,
It was
move down
very-
there.
Plug up your beard. Come on.
Drake, we are now blood brothers.
Yeah, okay.
let's-
What did you
let's
say?
look it
You
up.
said
Yeah,
about
you
it?
just have
Here,
to
slide
step
to
in
your right.
period juice.
So you're touching
Here comes. It's playing all accounted for.
Oh, Sanders is taking a nap.
I thought he was doing burpees or some shit for a second.
Sir, first platoon, all present and accounted for.
Oh. All right. Well, happy 4th of July to all you bloody Americans. Happy Treason Day to everybody else. We have quite a ceremony, actually. I kind of printed it off this time. A, I got my printer working just in time. And then B, it actually had ink in it, so that was a plus. And then it's 5 pages, well, like 4 and 4.25. So pretty outstanding month of June for us. Being able to kind of achieve what we did operational wise. Admin side of things as well we'll touch on a little bit, as well as the biggest takeaway is donations. Holy shoot. I tell you, just for the month of June alone, $800 in that month. That will support us for at least 3 months on that. So that's pretty amazing. Big hoo to the soldiers that we'll call up here, and none of them small. All the soldiers that we've called up are being awarded the medal with a V device for donating $100 plus in a calendar month. So pretty outstanding. So those that weren't aware, yesterday, July 4th, marked our 17th year as a Realism unit. We are quite old. Some of you weren't even born yet when this unit was founded. I always get a chuckle out of that, knowing that some of you were in diapers, some of you weren't even born yet when this unit started. I myself, in 2003, was a junior in high school. So, and then some of you probably retired already. Some of you old some bitches. Brock. Anyway, a big hua. I mean, think about the 17 years I've been here for 14 of them. We are actually have a guest, Major Cantu, Arthur Cantu, which was the Alpha Company Commander, Bravo Company Commander, for many years in our unit, who is present during our ceremony today as well, not in game, but listening, who has years with us as well. But I think about in those, at least my 14 years of being here so far, the soldiers that have come and gone, the great leaders that we have been blessed with to have come into our unit, to mold difference, to have an impact, to create what they did, and just lead. Most of our leaders that we have come in, have that effect on a lot of people. We have, in those 17 years, supported up to 3 to 4 games at one time, including, ARMA, of course, America's Army, Insurgency Sandstorm, Squad. I remember back in the day, Medal of Honor. Not only Day of Defeat when the unit first started in 2003, but just the amount of things that have done throughout those 17 years. I think besides most or some of C staff, I mean, for the most part, we're looking at our seniority level be about that 3 to 5 years for some of your senior personnel that have been in maybe multiple tours. Thinking like Sergeant Shade, Drake, Greg, having been around, a time or two with us. Also, those that I have mentioned before with the Cantus being in the unit. I even have former Lieutenant Johnson on watching us on stream too. Just the amount of people that have come in throughout those years, made a difference, and separated sooner or later, because that's the circle of life. People come, we get busy, we have to leave. The dedicated are able to adjust and move things around, but it's pretty amazing. So you're a part of something pretty long-standing, and the leadership that we have here, I don't see us going anywhere. So, multiple more years ahead of us, hopefully develop future leaders to help lead the unit into the next thing. I mean, right now we are a platoon, a solid platoon, but we've for number-wise, but we've been as large as 100, 200 soldiers, split between multiple games. But we've been at least 2 full platoons, 60 plus, 60, 70 plus just in ARMA before as well. So there's growth opportunity, and that goes down to our leaders to retain, to train and retain, and then also our recruiters and our FIG staff to also help with that, recruit and retain. Recruiting and retention is very vital. But one thing I've said throughout my years here is I'd rather have quality over quantity at any time. So once you get too many, it does become a burden at times. Definitely if your leadership isn't as strong to guide those young soldiers the correct ways. So, but that's my spiel on 17 years. So give us a big hua for 17 years. Hua. Some other things coming up. Promotion board. We will be hosting another promotion board for Corporal and E5 here in July. Tentatively, I have the date July 19th. I'm working with First Sergeant. However, with the busyness of First Sergeant's schedule, he had filed a retirement here in the month of June. So we'll have to see if he can squeeze that in before he officially ETSs. If not, between myself, Cadet Lambert, Sergeant Drake, and a couple other NCOs that have been through the board a time or two, will be present to ensure that we can get some of you E4 specialists or E4 corporals qualified potentially for that next step in your career. Another note that I have, with the help of Sergeant Drake, obviously those that haven't known, he has been doing a large amount of things on our website, coding-wise, including to being able to track our votes. We all know that we use clan lists quite a bit to vote daily to get our name to the top. Outstanding job on that. We've been in the top 5 every single day since I can remember now, since we started kind of making a push for that. But being able to have a counter now is pretty unique. So you can vote technically up to 2 times a day is what it tracks. You can vote more in other devices, but you can vote up to 2 times, maybe one on your mobile, one on your PC, and it tracks you for 2 votes a day. So we're moving our humanitarian service medal to include anybody that in a 30-day stretch has 60 votes, which means you voted every single day, 2 times a day, for a 30-day rolling calendar. So usually we'll always check towards that end of that month. So that'll be around ceremony time, but it tracks on each soldier's profile. So you can, I believe, Sergeant Drake, they're visible to their soldiers, right?
Ephraim.
So you can go check not your soldier's profile, as in like your uniform profile area, your PersComps profile, but your actual profile on the website. You'll see a counter, I think, down on the left side there. So that's coming up. That'll be eligible now, technically, for the month of July, and we'll see if we have any dedicated soldiers. I know coming up on it, there's been very just those that have kind of seen it and heard about it. It's a medal that shows dedication there, that you're constantly voting for us and getting our name up there higher on that list, because even some of you new soldiers heard about us from the clan lists, and also known as Arma Clan track. What it used to be called, I don't remember, but now it's just called clan lists. But so that's an update coming for the month of July into August. So we'll kind of start off with the ceremony. As I said, that quarter page there was all my notes, so now we're down to 4 pages. So to start off, get me Abel, Simpkins, Sam, and Purdy post. All right, Buffets. Perfect. All right. So as I mentioned, the month of June, we have been blessed with a large amount of donations, which I didn't even think was possible to beat May, but it was outstanding. The soldiers in front of you are hereby being awarded the Military Outstanding Volunteer Service Medal with V-Device for achieving $100 or more in a calendar month. To qualify for the medal for new soldiers, it's a $50 in the month of in a calendar month. So July, if you donate $50 in July, in August you'll get this award. So it's not an instant thing, but we also had some donations from some retired soldiers. First Sergeant Gilmore, or Master Sergeant Gilmore, or actually Sergeant Major Gilmore, donated, I believe, 180. And it's just amazing that we see donations like this. It obviously helps our unit grow, helps us keep things going. I've said a lot of times in my career that 2 things kill a unit: finances and poor leadership. And luckily we're blessed with hopefully both. At the same time, it's great. But a big hooah to these soldiers. Thanks again for your donation. We already technically hit our goal for the month of July. Private Purdy here jumped on and donated $200, I think, February, or like the first or second day of the month. So that goal's already hit, but we hit June, I think, within the first couple days as well. So outstanding job, and hooah, thank you. Buffets. Congrats, soldiers. Thank you. Fall back in. Hey, Toplek. Glad you can see us on here, at least. Saw you TPR'd. All right, next up, go ahead, get me Sam and Freeman post. Buffets. All right, these two soldiers, Private Sam's in front of us, Freeman's not present currently, are hereby being awarded the National Defense Service Medal. So this is a medal that we award to all soldiers that have served in their armed forces. Does not need to be American or U.S. Military. It can be your nation's military with proper proof. It's obviously easier for the U.S. side, as any U.S. veteran can look stuff up like that. So, I mean, this is for serving our nation on a larger front. And I feel it's something that we always need to honor those that have military backgrounds in our unit. They provide and bring forth a lot of good things to the unit. Myself, I wouldn't say I bring a lot of good, but I know things like First Sergeant Conless, being an actual First Sergeant in the Air Force. I know Air Force, but we adapt. But then also the Chief Morton, served in the U.S. Army as well. We just have a large amount of veterans that make it pretty far in this unit. Both our guests today, Major Cantu and Lieutenant Johnson, are both veterans as well, and they've served in our command staff. So it seems that the military personnel tend to rise and stick it out, the longevity, the commitment, a lot of what the military values are. So, and it's something that they do well with. So, big hua to these soldiers, and thank you for your service. Hua. All right, Buffets. Thanks again. All right, fall back in. All right, Lambert, Brock, Grig, Abel, Toplek, Frost, Nissan, and myself, post. All right, Bellface. All right. These soldiers are hereby being awarded the Good Conduct Medal. I believe some might be actually their first Good Conduct Medal. I believe Specialist Abel, your first. I know with being awarded the Good Conduct Medal, it's for good service of 3 continuous months. So no AWOL lapses. Outstanding performance, meaning you're not a troublemaker. You're not issued an essay, or for the most part, activity is huge to achieve the Good Conduct Medal. So it's one that's awarded out every 3 months. I mean, you can get 4 a year. So it's one of those that if you're doing your job and you're doing what is required of you in this unit, this is a medal that's easy for you to achieve. So and you do nothing but just do what you do. So a big hua and thank you. Hua.
Whoa.
All right, Buffets. Hua. Fall back in. All right, next up, get me Drake, Shade, Greg, and Grig post. All right, Bellface. All right, these soldiers are hereby being awarded a medal that I'm going to say is more or less administrative paper delay, i.e. I missed it. The Global War on Terrorism Service Medal, the GWAT. So back in the heyday, with America's Army, the GWAT was a pretty hard medal to get in terms of kill-to-death ratio. I know we had to get, for America's Army, I remember it was like 20 kills on your side with 3 or 4 other third ID soldiers on your team, and I know it evolved over years of what qualifies for what. So to get that many kills in a first-person shooter might be easy for some, but it was definitely difficult for myself. For Arma, we obviously don't go by kills, right? We're killing AI, which hack all the time, and we die more or less. However, what we award the GWAT for in Arma is for 3 operational missions that you participated in. So this is 3 different operations, not just 3 missions. Usually in concurrent with this is the third ID combat patch. Well, these soldiers already have the third ID combat patch, and it was missed when we went through and awarded that initially. So these 4 soldiers are hereby being awarded the Global War on Terrorism for completing and having conducted 3 operations within the third ID during their service. So, hooah. All right, Bellface. Fall back in. Outstanding. All right. Next up, get me Lambert and Conless. All right. Bellface. All right. So, again, with kind of going in the terms of qualifying events for an award, this is another one. The Armed Forces Expeditionary Medal is what these 2 are being awarded. It's for service in a deployed setting for a 12-month time in service. So ideally, this kind of gets awarded in concurrent with your first or 1 year or 2 year or whatever year, 365 days or 66 with a leap year this year, of service within the unit. So the Armed Forces Expeditionary Medal, it's more or less a time in service type of medal, being awarded to Cadet Lambert and First Sergeant Conless, who last month officially hit their 1-year anniversary. However, this has to be after that. So this is why it's delayed 1 month and doesn't go in concurrent with their actual celebration of their 1 year. So big hooah. Congrats. All right. Spellface. Fall back in. All right. Into the good stuff now. All right. Frost, Franson, and Purdy post. All right, Bellface. All right, so these soldiers are hereby being awarded the Army Achievement Medal. I'll read the citations themselves. So for J. Frost, meets requirement over the month of June. Specialist Frost has done an outstanding effort in the role as platoon medic while in game, and also administrating duties as assisting with tweaking medical permissions, working with COE, creating medical-based loadouts for such medical roles, and much, much more. Recommended by his platoon sergeant and platoon leader. We have PFC Franson. Franson has stepped up into serving as an FTL for the first team while Yankura was on LOA, while also supporting the team lead in getting readequated with the team upon the changed rapidly under his LOA. So really just the stepping up. This I believe we awarded last month as well to a soldier that kind of went above and beyond while in a role that wasn't their initial. As people's lives get busy, people have to take LOAs, including leaders, and that position is vacant. So there's not always a replacement ready to jump in there and be fully trained and ready to go and whatnot. In this case, Franson, I believe, was an RTO out of our platoon that kind of jumped down into the squads to fill a FTL role for a while, and really stabilized and helped that squad and helped the unit as a whole. So a big hoo to him. And Private Purdy, outstanding efforts in the recruitment an RRO for the third ID. Recruitment on Steam and other forms, while not necessarily being assigned yet to RRO as a DMOS because you didn't qualify. You had to get obviously a little bit of time in service and grade to be a recruiter. And now that you are, it hasn't slowed down. So big hoot to these three for their outstanding work. As you can see, all of it not necessarily is in-game stuff. It's handling the meat and potatoes of the unit, the admin, the DMOS side of things. So big hoot to these soldiers. Thank you. Hooah. All right, about face. Congratulations.
Hey.
Falk back in. All right, next up, go ahead and get me. It's going to be a little bigger list. Sam, Kilgree, Purdy, Skits, Tree, Mooring, Sanders. Post. All right, Buffface. All right. So these soldiers are hereby being promoted to the grade and rank of E3 PFC. This is their, for the most part, their first official promotion within the unit, outside of completing basic training. So this is kind of that first stepping stone. Officially, you get a rocker on your mosquito wings. You are ready to go. I mean, now in the PFC, you're able to A, be able to do more DMOS stuff. B, be able to be selected as a fire team leader is the first level. And then you're just getting some experience in the unit, whether that's now 1 or 2 months generally is what your time in service would be. So it's your first one. I mean, look at what you can do in the unit, aim high, and stick it out. I mean, let's hopefully we see you in the next month or two in Specialist, Corporal, and then as you can see, moving forward. So, congratulations. Ballface. Fall back in. Congrats. All right, next up, go ahead, get me Grig, Shade, and Tuplek. Post. All right, Buffface. All right, so these soldiers are being honored, actually all three of them, with the Army Commendation Medal with Valor. So to get really anything with the V device, the Army Commendation with Valor, the Bronze Star with Valor, things like that. Usually Valor, the V device, means that it's a higher level. So in most cases, combat related. Versus like our donation medal is for Valor, for really going above and beyond. You donated double of what you needed to qualify for this medal. So Valor is a big thing. So I'll read kind of the citations as each of these soldiers are being awarded this medal for their actions during one of our last operational missions, Geronimo. So Grig, with V-Device during Mission Geronimo, Specialist Grig had to step in for an unlucky Ghost Actual a handful of times. At Objective Market, Specialist Grig had to first step in after his squad leader traded one-on-one with the enemy. Grig did not sit still and quickly took matters into his own hands, following protocol, switching radio frequencies, followed orders to secure the rest of the compound. At Objective Garden, Grig had to step up for Ghost Actual again, for while leading the squad with excellence again after Ghost Actual got patched up. Specialist Grig led the team again while with excellence until the end of the mission. During the mission, Grig has shown his value within the squad for both being an excellent fire team leader and a capable squad leader when needed. So we kind of know our SOP. Our squad leaders are combat leaders. They lead from the front. So most of the time they get shot, and get down. We established that SOP with having our unit switch radios, get on the line, say, hey, actual's down, what's our orders? So not only are they now leading their, 3 to 5 people in their fire team, they now just also took over the other fire team initially. So big hoo to him with Valor for leading from the front in a combat scenario. Sergeant Shade, during Mission Geronimo, Sergeant Shade was repeatedly wounded. I guess we found the squad leader. By the enemy in close quarters combat at multiple times within 6 feet of the enemy, and rescued/gave life-saving aid to several wounded squad mates. Being a combat lifesaver is obviously key as well. There's a squad medic and a platoon medic, and you get overwhelmed very, very quickly with mass cas. Including killing an enemy within 3 feet of himself in the process of rescuing a downed squad mate who was critically wounded, dragging him to safety and rendering aid until medical personnel could arrive. Additionally, Sergeant Shade continued to clear a large barracks building at the final objective while it collapsed upon him, but continued until no enemies remained, and then rendered aid to any downed friendly soldiers. So it's going up kind of that above and beyond. Having a building collapse on you, well, that's ARMA. That happens a lot. And then Specialist Toplek, during Mission Geronimo, Specialist Toplek made sure nobody died within second squad nobody died in second squad. During the mission, his squad had at least 2 mass cast situations and a ton of wounded and unconscious soldiers, this resulting in the lack of medical supplies towards the end of the mission. Not only did Specialist Toplek care for his squad, but took on multiple occasions and helped aid the other squad as well. Without Specialist Toplek on our sides, Ghost would have at least had 6 KIAs, but by the end of the mission had 0 KIAs. So just right there, we all know how valuable and how much we need our medics, definitely in ARMA. Combat lifesavers, there's so much you guys can do. Your first mission is to eliminate the threat and be a soldier, not a medic. But cases where we get wiped, a building falls on a squad, that happens. A tank rolls up and just annihilates us. I know me and the platoon medic got wasted by a tank last mission, and basically just sat there and waited. But all these medals are awarded with Valor for the situation. If none of them were successful in their current roles or what they did, we would have been down. We would have been hurting, and I doubt we would have completed the last mission. So a big hua to these 3. Congratulations, hua. All right, Buffets.
Oh, I pulled a Greg.
Greg Jr. All right, fall back in. I pulled it, Greg. All right.
has done it twice.
Franson and Hendrick, post. Buffets. All right, these 2 soldiers, with the one in front, currently right now, are hereby being promoted to the grade and rank of E4 Bravo Specialist. Entering the E4 Mafia is what we call it. The specialists are really what run the military. They're the bulk of things. There's so many options when you reach the rank of specialist. It is a rank that you could literally just stay at and serve as a fire team leader at max. Or it's something that you can continue to push on lead soldiers, because it is a very, it's a rank that has a lot of versatility. DMOS wise, a lot of things open up to you in the rank of specialist. In fact, to qualify for the rank of specialist, you have to be in a DMOS to even qualify and achieve it. So really, it's just welcome to the E4 Mafia. Congratulations. Cool. All right, Buffers. All right, fall back in. All right, go ahead, get me Lambert and Frost. Post. All right, fall back in. Oh, sorry, about face. Way ahead of myself. Way ahead of myself. I'll simmer down. All right. These two soldiers are hereby being awarded the Joint Service Achievement Medal, the JSAM. As I've talked about the specialists and being DMOSs, well, to earn this medal, it's only awarded through our DMOSs. We do have a set amount of medals and ribbons that you only qualify for if you serve in the admin side of the unit. As I talked before, to even get above the rank or to the rank of specialist, you have to be in a DMOS to even qualify. You know, we all know the importance of the combat side of things. That's the fun side, right? Where we get to shoot and blow things up. Well, the admin side, it can't be on a select few. You know, we all have to take our burden of it, I guess you can say, our responsibility of it, whether that's through recruiting, your FIG, so your training, your PAO, your writing and your streaming, your CID, making our uniforms, BMO, maintaining our roster. You know, so our DMOSs are extremely important to this unit and really what makes the unit function. And obviously having everybody have to participate, it makes it a lot less stressful as well for select few. So these soldiers are hereby being awarded the JSAM for, we got outstanding commitment for Cadet Lambert here, outstanding commitment and dedication to serving in CID for 1 year. So far, so that's taking care of our imaging, uniforms is the large part, and then Specialist Frost here, outstanding dedication and commitment in recruiting for the months of May and June since re-enlisting in the unit. So you know, it's forgoing that commitment. It's taking on the burdens. You know, we have some DMOSs that are struggling a little bit. And you know, C staff is working to see what those struggles are, how we can continue to push them forward, flush, you know, maybe new leaders, somebody with a different perspective on how the DMO should be run. But you know, it's one of those that these are very vital systems and tasks in our unit to keep us going for the last 17 years. So big hua to these soldiers. Hua. Bow face. Fall back in. All right, go ahead, get me Grig post. All right, bow face. All right, specialist here is hereby being awarded the rank of corporal, E4 Alpha. Specialist here, now corporal, qualified, went through our promotion board this last month, and did extremely well. Really, he's entering the NCO Corps. You know, the rank of corporal is an NCO. That's a junior grade NCO. The NCO is the backbone of this unit. That's what runs this unit. Our leadership generally is all NCOs. You know, you got from the first sergeant, platoon sergeant, squad leader, fire team leaders. Those all qualify as, you know, ranks to be NCOs. You know, and it's what runs this unit. So to be able to go through our promotion board, which ensures that these soldiers that are becoming NCOs know their stuff, right? We want to make sure that they're not leading incorrectly, that they're not teaching and training incorrectly. And that's what this kind of does. It weeds those out. You know, it could take more than 1 or 2 times to get through the promotion board. But it's something that is very vital. Big hua to this new NCO. Hua. Bow face. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Flop again. All right. Next up, go ahead, get me Lucky Tree Morning. I'm gonna slide to this name, Escabilla, I think. Simpkins, Purdy,
Scooby.
Yeah, we'll call him Scooby. Sounds good. Killery and Sam. Post. Salute, Gary.
I'm trying, Major. My button's not working.
Gotcha. All right, Buffface. All right. So these, what is that? 8 people, 8 soldiers, are hereby being awarded the Combat Infantry Badge Stage 1. So these soldiers are, as you can see, lower rank currently right now, lower enlisted. This is their first, in the month of June, completed their first combat mission or operation with us. So qualifying them for their Combat Infantry Badge. This is Stage 1. It goes all the way Stage 4. To qualify for any of the other stages, it is another operation. It's just not another mission. Operations generally last a year or more. So when we do them, obviously it shows longevity. Those that hit stage, say 3 or 4, stuff like that, they've been here a couple of years. So hopefully this is your first of all 4. So congratulations, Hua.
Whoa.
Dollface. All right, fall back in. Next up, I'll take Hendricks and Barr, post. All right, Bellface. All right, these 2 soldiers, one in front, are hereby being awarded Stage 2 of that infantry combat infantry badge. So in this case, both are re-enlistees from previous tours, so they have participated in an operation prior to our current one of Thin Ice. So really, it's the return that got them the second one. This is technically their second operation. So Hua, congratulations. Buffface. Fall back in. All right. Go ahead, get me Drake, post. All right, Buffface. All right, Sergeant Drake is hereby being awarded the Humanitarian Service Medal. So prior to my announcement today with the 60 votes in a calendar month, which is a way to earn this medal, Sergeant Drake here earned it the old-fashioned way by distinguishing himself by meritorious and direct participation in a significant online act, is how the medal reads. So ideally, in this case scenario, we had a soldier that had a broken computer. Obviously, we kind of need those to be here, right? We need hopefully a good gaming computer, solid internet connection, and some time. And obviously, this soldier had 2 out of 3 with a broken computer. It doesn't help. Well, Sergeant Drake took it upon himself to order and buy the needed parts to repair this soldier's gaming computer out of his own pocket, not asked, not told, just by his own kind heart, kind of went out there and did that. So without that, I mean, this soldier would possibly have to either A, take an LOA until he could fix his computer, or potentially be discharged for not being able to obviously participate. So in this case, Sergeant Drake made sure his platoon was solid and ready to go. So big hua to you, and thank you. Hua. All right, Dollface. I'll let you know when my computer fails. I can use an upgrade here soon.
I'll see what I still have in the boot.
All right. Fall back in, Hua. All right, go ahead. Get me Greg, post. All right. Dollface. All right, Corporal Greg here is hereby being promoted to the grade and rank of E5 Sergeant. He has, long story with him, but we'll keep it brief. Ideally, he came in, re-enlisted with us, served under Sergeant Drake as an FTL, really thrived once again in that role. In this case, Sergeant Greg has been in the unit prior, held multiple roles prior. This is just another tour for him with us. and he's come back with a vengeance to make sure that he's here to better the unit, and it doesn't go unnoticed, and it's definitely shown kind of daily. Um, Went through promotion board, if I recall, twice, right? Took you to get through. But I mean, really, it's the getting into that new position of his as a squad leader after the promotion of Sergeant Drake to platoon sergeant. He leads an outstanding squad of dedicated soldiers, and being a leader of a squad, much like Sergeant Shade, you have to be dedicated. You have to lead from the front. You have to care. You have to put in a lot of effort to maintain your fire team leaders, keep them green and growing, and then also maintain the activity of your soldiers because they feed off of you. So, big hooah to you, Sergeant. Congratulations, hooah. Dollface. Congrats, Sergeant. Fall back in.
Thank you, Major.
Let's see. Tuplek, which isn't present but watching on stream, is hereby being awarded the Combat Medic Badge, as we did award him earlier his medal. Our medics are not technically infantry. All right, so those that wonder, helps if I press my push to talk key. That would help.
Just
All right.
a little, sir.
Just a little bit. Everybody on stream heard me because that's just voice activated. Okay, so next up I have Toplek, which isn't here currently, listening on stream. So he's being awarded the Combat Medic Badge. So as we awarded him earlier, the Combat Valor one of Army Commendation, this is kind of his first month in the role as a squad medic. Obviously, we heard during his citation for the Army Commendation Medal of what he did during this combat environment. Those that don't know, our medics, platoon medic and platoon sergeant, platoon medic and squad medic are not infantry 11 Bravos. So they do not qualify technically for the Combat Infantry Badge. So they are officially listed under 68 Whiskeys, which are medics, combat medics. So this is their infantry badge, their combat badge would be the Combat Medic Badge. So it's only for medics, not combat lifesavers. Those you're still listed as an infantry-based soldier. So a big hooah to him. Let's see. We have, this next list is a little larger. Let's go ahead. We'll try to have everybody post. But Lambert, Bodwin, Scanar, Brock, Neeson, Abel, Moose, Lucky, Purdy, Mooring, Tree, Skits, and Killery. Post. Outstanding job, Tuplek. Thank you, buddy. Cut off there, Neeson. Alright, Balface. Alright, so if you're looking at these soldiers in front of me, a lot of keywords come to mind. Dedication, longevity, and crazy is the other word. These soldiers are hereby being awarded the Rangers tab. So the month of June, annually, the month of June, the 173rd Airborne puts on a Ranger school. Now, we are infantry. We're an infantry division. We're not a Ranger division. We're not the 75th Rangers, anything like that. But as infantry, we do qualify to go to Ranger school, much like Airborne school and Air Assault school. Well, Ranger school is the bee's knees. It's long, 12 to 16 hours overnight generally. Luckily for the Europeans, it's a little easier because it's daytime. But anybody in the U.S., it starts at 10, 11 p.m. and goes till the a.m. And this year was a little different than previous years. I know we've had soldiers attend, some of them in our formation prior, that attended, and I laughed because I remember a couple years ago Lieutenant Johnson that was here took a screenshot and shared it on, I think, our Facebook page saying Ranger School, and it was literally just a black screen because you have no night vision. It's the middle of the dark. You have no vision whatsoever, and it's literally a black screen. And so we laugh about that oh, Ranger School is like a camping trip. You go there, you sit there for a couple hours, you do a small patrol, and you sit there for a couple hours, and it really determines the dedication that you have. Some soldiers in the past have fallen out literally because they fell asleep, or they get bored, or they lose their time, things like that. These soldiers obviously completed the course, raving reviews about the course as well with the new tweaks that happened within Ranger School this year, and we expressed those to the 173rd to keep that up. These soldiers now qualify technically as cadre for the future Ranger schools as well, so they can do it all again and then mess with the trainees. So, but not only am I very impressed with these soldiers getting the Ranger tab, but then it happened on a Saturday night into a Sunday. I want to say most of these soldiers attended platoon training that next afternoon. So I'd say about a 3-4 hour gap in between the two. From finishing maybe 5 hours, and then moving on to complete another 2 to 3 hour training session with platoon level. So that's dedication. That's what that is. So a big hua and congratulations on Rangers, because Rangers lead the way. Hua.
Rangers lead the way.
Buffets.
Come on.
Congratulations, Rangers.
Thank you, sir.
Fall back in. Largest class I think we've sent in a long time. If I recall, 14. Right, Cadet? 14 soldiers graduated Ranger School. 14 out of 15. So that's pretty outstanding. So next up, go ahead and get me Lambert, Skinar, and Neeson. Post. All right, Balface. All right, these soldiers are hereby being awarded a fairly new cord, is what we call it. I'm going to slaughter it. Major Cantu always says it correctly, but I can't. The French Fourrageur. It's a cord that, we generally infantry soldiers, we get it on, one side it's the blue cord, right? It's on our uniform. This other cord is a multicolored cord that is awarded to soldiers that have completed, I believe it's 4 out of 5 of the requirements, or maybe it's 3 out of 4 of the skill badges. So in this case, these soldiers at least have a Ranger tab, an Airborne school, an Air Assault school, an EIB, or a Combat Medic badge. Don't quote me on that. We can look it up. But these soldiers qualified for achieving this French cord. I'm just call it French cord because I can't say the second word. But it's one of those that you're going through so many training schools, getting qualified on so many things. So big hua to these soldiers. Obviously longevity. All these soldiers have been in the unit at least for a while now, or have served multiple tours and then have been able to have the opportunity to attend. The one that usually holds a lot of soldiers up is that Ranger tab, because that is only available once a year. So as we do run Air Assault Airborne generally quarterly. So big hua. Congrats. Buffface. Fall back in. All right. Next up, let's see. I'm just going to name these as it's a little more difficult to get them up here and then say the correct, I guess, star number. So this last mission operation, or this last mission that we did, Mission Geronimo, was an airborne mission, right? We're not an airborne unit. It's fairly rare that we actually do an airborne mission. Maybe at best one in operation, so at best one a year. So being able to conduct a combat jump out of a perfectly good airplane is something that we kind of love to do. It's out of the norm. It's not what the 3rd Infantry Division is known for. We're not the 82nd Airborne or the 173rd Airborne. They do it every mission. If you like jumping, well, don't leave. Let's see. So out of these, we do have some first-time jump stars for soldiers. Those first-time jumpers out of a good, perfectly airborne airplane in a combat environment is Cadet Lambert, Sergeant Scanar, Sergeant Brock. We're first-time jumpers. So these soldiers are being awarded their first jump star on their airborne wings. Our second, we have Neeson, receiving his second combat jump, which is the only one, actually. Our third, we do have a couple 3-timers with Greg and Drake. We have 2 4th-timers with... Oh, wait, sorry. Third was Greg and Shade. Drake is a 4th, and Grig is a 4th-time jumper. And then I believe it's a max at a 5 stars. So to get your 5th one, then you're maxed out. It's a solid gold one, right in the middle. I was a part of this jump. I completed that, technically listed as my 6th combat jump. So there's no extra thing for anything above 5. So those that completed a combat jump this mission was myself, Lambert, Drake, Scanar, Shade, Brock, Grig, Greg, and Neeson. So, hooah. This one we did do a little differently. We kind of let all personnel jump so that we can have our teams together. But obviously, if you didn't qualify, you didn't have an airborne wing, it was just technically a mission for you. So we kind of changed things up a little bit to keep our teams together logistically, to take some stress and transportability or transport needs off of 3 cabs. So a big hooah to our jumpers. Hooah.
What?
All right, next up, go ahead and get me Corporal Grig, post. All right, Buffets. All right, so Corporal here now is being honored with a medal that I commonly call the enemy's marksmanship badge, also known as what? Anybody?
Purple Heart.
Purple Heart, exactly. All right, so I'll read the citation here. This happened during Mission Geronimo. If you recall, the corporal here was awarded the Combat Valor of the Army Commendation Medal as well for this during this mission. So the citation reads, during the mission, Grig got wounded after an accident with a parachute before landing. I think it's safe to say we all got injured there. That was a hard landing for us all. That wasn't what qualified him for it. Later on, while tasked with while attacking, RP2 Ghost got ambushed and almost wiped out. The entire squad had major injuries. Grig, due to his who wrote this? Grig, due to his Bulgarian stubbornness, refused to die, even though after being treated last, everyone got patched up, and Grig led his team to the front lines again. During the mission, Specialist Grig stepped into multiple roles as FTL and squad leader. Hello? All right, I'll do this.
So was it time, a good computer, and
all right, you guys hear me now?
connection?
You guys hear me now?
Hey, Drake, you're ready for your next humanitarian medal.
Hello? Anybody?
I mean, Major is talking. We can just hear him because we are on Anchor, so...
Major, everybody has Anchor enabled, so they can't hear you in game.
Well, shit. Stand by.
Looks like he's loading back up.
All right.
Coming back online. Good timing. We're almost done, too. Come on.
All right.
Hey, thanks for the subscribe or the follow. Yeah, a very hard stomp. It's pretty rare that it actually goes down like that. Alright. Hear me now?
Hey, sir.
Hey.
Hey, Worm.
I'm glad nobody moved. Alright, we're back. Don't know what the hell happened there. Alright, so where was I? Marksmanship medal. That's right. Let's see. So I read the citation. Yeah. Basically, the Purple Heart is just that. You have to be in a leadership position. You have to, kind of go that above and beyond. It's one of those that is kind of rare. It doesn't hand out very often, and it's not just for being wounded. This is Arma. We all get wounded. So, really, it's just the scenario. So, Tua, congrats. Buffets. We'll be able to strip that or skip that part in the stream. Fall back in, huh? All right, next up, last one actually. Skanar post. All right, Buffets. All right. So, with the end of June, ends our second quarter of the year. Um, we went through a nomination process between the command staff and selection, and one of the names thrown out there that kind of had the most nominations was Sergeant Skanar here for being named the second quarter Soldier of the Quarter. So we do Soldier of the Quarter. There's 4 a year, and our first quarter was Sergeant Brock. This quarter is going to be Sergeant Skanar. So kind of the qualifications is just, they're, let's see. Obviously, you have to be in the unit at least the last 3 months, right? So if you haven't had at least 3 months time in service, you didn't qualify. I think we had, I want to say 6 or 7 soldiers that qualified for the medal. You can't have repeats as well. So I know there was some on that list that was a prior as well. And it's just one of those that, we like to honor. Those that really go above and beyond, those that show a lot of dedication, show a lot of commitment, a lot of loyalty, and are put through the ringer a little bit. They have a lot of responsibilities, a lot of tasks that others rely on. In this case, Sergeant Skanar not only is our BMO NCOIC, so he maintains our roster, maintains our service records, does a lot on the admin side of the unit. On the combat side, he is our intel. I mean, he continues to produce these missions for us, collects intel. Me and him at least sit down once a month or more to kind of cover where I see and where we want this mission or this whole operation to go towards. He's doing all the building of these missions and FTXs and present patrols. So there's a lot on Sergeant's plate here, and it doesn't go unnoticed. It's just the dedication that he has that really put him on top of a lot of soldiers that rightfully qualified just as much, but just the dedication and what he has brought to our unit since joining, so it doesn't go unnoticed. With that, he's also not only being named, but we award the Soldier's Medal with the Soldier of the Quarter. So, hua, and congratulations.
What?
All right, Paleface.
Thank you, Major.
Will do. Hua, thank you. Congratulations. Fall back in. All right. So, looking through, just making sure I didn't miss anyone. So I kind of covered the notes side of things already. So those that aren't aware, so I honored my words of putting a poll out there on the website about whether or not we want to use Task Force Radio or Acre 2. The vote is still up until the 10th, so you have 5 more days to get your vote in on what you prefer. Obviously, the pros and cons list is for the most part listed there on what we what we want to do, or what each, I guess, mod does for us. So there's a lot of different opinions on the subject. I'm just going to say this is a kind of that unit vote. This is a democracy. I don't run it like a dictatorship. We do have a chain of command, and we do have, I guess my overall saying is what goes. However, I make sure that we try to run it equivalent to, seeing the flow of things, I guess you could say. So whatever the vote ends on the 10th as, or the 11th morning, we're going to go with as a unit. So I know we're going to have a split vote right now. I know it's, one's going to be higher than the other. It's not going to be unanimous. People like Acre, people like Task Force Radio. But if you vote, you have to honor the commitment of what the unit as a whole voted for. Just like I would, just like anybody else in the unit. We're going to move forward as a unit in that direction. Meaning I don't want any tantrums. I don't want any discharge requests. I don't want any attitude to your leaders that you disagree with the choice. That's not what we do as an infantry unit. It's not what we do as a realism unit. It's not what we do as us, the third ID. So as long as we're all in agreement with that, continue to vote. If we do have issues with that, then I will make the call myself, and that's a tough call to make. So hopefully we can get out there, express your right to vote on the forums. It's on the members discussion page, so I just utilize that. Other than that, I think I covered the rest of the notes. Happy 4th of July, everybody. 4th of July weekend. It's ending here in the U.S. It's already ended. You Britons, or I mean you Aussies. There you go. Which is just treason day to them. And that's really all I have. Happy 17th years. Keep doing what we're doing. I mean, we're going to make a hell of a splash in July and the rest of 2020. Get out there, recruit, bring soldiers in. We're on the verge of opening a third squad pretty easily if we can retain. We bring a lot of new soldiers in, a lot of good quality soldiers as well, to get out there and help us push our numbers and push our quality for the most part. So other than that, that's the words of wisdom I have. I got to disembark and start moving. We're about to move into a new house, so we have to move in 95-degree weather today, so that kind of sucks. But anybody that lives close to central Wisconsin, you're TPR'd today and you can come help me move.
Whoa.
Hands up. Sorry, Abel. All right, I'll give you my address. No. All right.
Sweet.
Other than that, Cadet, post. All right, take charge of your platoon. Whoa.
Make a measure. All right, Real Makers. Thank you all for attending this month's ceremony. Just a couple things that I want to let you guys know before we get dismissed here.
Are you yelling, Cadet? You're really quiet back here.
Can you hear me now?
Yep, perfect. Thank you.
All right. Just a couple maintenance things, in-house things. So let's ensure that we submit CID updates. So head to the website straight after this, submit your CID update. That way your FTLs and your SLs aren't pestering you about it 2 weeks down the track. If you forgot everything that you've already received, the few soldiers that called up here quite a few times, just wait about 24 hours and base maintenance will have it attached to your service record. Then you can go to your P file and check what you received. If you're a trainee still, a private trainee, you'll need to wait until after you graduate before you submit a CID update. So don't submit any if you're a private trainee. Last thing here, I just want to remind everyone, because I didn't get any suggestions or complaints, which is a good thing. But in my channel on TeamSpeak, there's a platoon leaders box for suggestions and complaints in relation to the platoon. So if you have any minor suggestions relating, might be training wise, things like that, or complaints, head to the platoon leaders box and go ahead and submit those. Like I said, there wasn't any over the month of June, or so far over the month of July. So if you do have any, head there to submit them. And last thing here, we have our combat mission in about 30 minutes. So do what you need, grab something to eat, chill out on TeamSpeak. We'll start loading back up around 14:30 for you guys to get ready, and then we'll conduct a brief before we step off. Alright, yep, you guys are, you can break it down. You're dismissed.
Oh.
What?
All right. Well, that's it for me today. Thanks for watching, everybody. Thanks for stopping in, Cantu and Johnson. Happy 4th, everybody.